Hello, girls and boys. Today we are going to hook up the Raspberry Pi 5 AI kit, which I have right here. We are going to get it started as soon as possible, so hold on and hopefully you will like this episode. I'm going to follow up with a few more examples soon.
Nice!
Here it is, the Raspberry Pi 5 Hailo AI kit. I got my hands on it and I'm gonna show you how to quickly get it up and running. If you are watching this video, you already know the specs of this little device, but let me just remind you that the Coral USB accelerator that I presented earlier on my channel runs with 4 TOPS at regular speeds, while this little devil runs at whopping 13 TOPS. It also comes with a dedicated HUD board for an easy connection. I guess I'm gonna perform a quick unboxing. Here is the kit and a 40-pin GPIO header. Let me remove this element from the electrostatic protective bag. And the PCIe mini cable arrives taped to the bottom of the HUD board. Oh wow, it appears to be stuck a little bit, but it finally came off. In a moment, I will hook it up to the PCIe port on the board of Raspberry Pi 5. Let me remove this tape completely. Now, by doing that, I accidentally messed up this connection to the kit itself, but fortunately it is easy to reposition the cable in its original socket. Also, make sure that the metallized side of the mini PCIe cable is positioned like so. Now, when you look closely at the PCIe socket, there is this little brown part. All you've got to do with your fingernail is to slightly pry up the two ends of that socket one at a time. This will allow you to insert this little cable into a very small slit. For me, it took a few tries before the cable was sitting in the slit. Eventually, the idea is to close these two boards on each other. But before we do that, we need to press gently with fingernail on top of that little brown piece that we just pried out. And we need to do it at both ends. Now that the cable sits firmly in its place, we can take care of the headers. That was the most difficult part to accomplish. Eventually, after bending and straightening up a few pins, it's all done. I'm ready to connect the monitor to the Raspberry Pi and hook up the power. It's also worth mentioning that I am using the dedicated Raspberry Pi power supply, which can deliver plenty of power. If your board shuts down during startup, you most likely need to replace your power supply. The one that I'm using was reliable and is able to deliver 5 amps at 5 volts. Alright, it took a while. Here we are. The board has booted. So let's go and see what it is that we have to do next. I pulled up the official guide from the Raspberry Pi Foundation. You will find the link to this guide under this video. Just like we have it in our case, here is the assembled kit. You can also mount it a little bit more permanently to your Raspberry Pi. And here we have the prerequisites. In order to run the inference examples provided in this tutorial, we will need the following. Raspberry Pi 5 and the AI kit we have already taken care of. You should also have by now the Raspberry Pi OS bookworm installed on your secure digital card. It is also required to have an official Raspberry Pi camera. I don't have that hooked up, but I'm hoping that a regular USB camera will be enough, which, a spoiler alert, is not enough. I will end up hooking up the official Raspberry Pi camera towards the end. Okay, point number 1 in the hardware setup talks about the Raspberry Pi camera connection, and point number 2 is about connecting the AI kit hardware if you haven't done that yet. And here comes the next important step. Number 3 is to enable the PCI port perform at high speed. So let's go and do it now. I have to admit that prior to recording this video, I used an NVMe disk together with my Raspberry Pi 5, and that already required activating the PCIe Generation 3.0 for faster data transfer. So let me show you how to do it. We need to find one file and do some simple modification. The file we are looking for, config.txt, is located in the boot folder /firmware, and that's what I'm gonna open right now. Oh, here it is. Right click and open. So I'm gonna look for the keyword dtparam. And here is one, and at the end of the file is the next one, the one that I was looking for. If you don't have it yet, that is the line that you need to add at the end of your file. Now save your changes and exit. There is no reason to reboot your Raspberry Pi, since we are going to do it anyway very soon. Like always, however, please update and upgrade your OS. When you're working with the SD card, it is a lengthy process. In my case, it took 38 minutes to update and upgrade. But here we are, and we are moving to point number 4, which is installing the Hailo dependencies. And that by itself was 13 minutes. Now that this is finished, we can safely reboot. Rebooting is also not the fastest process. Alright, here we are back. Fire up your browser and the terminal. We are going to see if the Raspberry Pi 5 establishes a connection with the AI kit and whether the libraries are installed correctly. Let me copy the command from the tutorial and run it in the terminal. It takes a little bit of time, but everything checks out and the Hailo kit communicates with the board. In addition, we can also run this command to check the kernel logs. And no issues here as well. Now, I'm going to check if I can use the rpicam-hello script with the USB camera. Oh, bummer, apparently not. Aww. But let us move on. Now, after all that time, I cannot wait to run some demos. But first, we need to download some files in order to run them. Execute this command and just wait a few moments for everything to download. In contrast, this download happened very quickly. Okay, we are going to initiate the first object detection with YOLO version 6. We have a problem with the camera not being detected. I think I really have to hook up the physical Raspberry Pi camera. So let me do that now and reboot the Raspberry Pi. Okay, the camera is installed and the system is loading. Where were we? Oh yeah, we were supposed to run a detection model. With the arrow up on my keyboard, I'm switching between the different commands. And here is the camera test command. It tests the video on the camera for 10 seconds. Oh, it appears the image is inverted. Let me rotate the camera. Okay, running the camera test once more. Hi everyone. It appears to be working the right way up. Okay, keep your fingers crossed, because here comes the real test. Will we see any inference in the image? Or is the script going to crash? Oh, it is working just fine. I am detected as a person with a 92% confidence rate, and the remote I had next to me on my desk was immediately categorized with a 61% confidence score. Let's pick up a smartphone, and here it is. The model recognizes the smartphone correctly. What else do I have laying around me on my desk? How about a pen? Nothing? Oh well, I guess I won't have that classified. Let's switch to another model or apply some parameters. What else do we have in that tutorial? I can add the parameter -v space 2 to return the output in a text format. Let's try this. Here is me again. And in the terminal, the object is a person with the coordinates of the framing box. There is also the confidence score as a value between 0 and 1. And when I raise my remote, it gets detected, alright, but I also see another object being shown, a laptop, that I don't know where that would come from. I am looking forward to checking out the other demos, as well as the dedicated community page. You can find the link below this video. What do you think about the Hailo AI kit? I think it's a great improvement when compared to the Google Coral. Please like and subscribe to let me know that you are looking forward to more videos dedicated to this kit. Hope to see you soon again. Thanks!